Good morning, everyone. Actually, it's almost good afternoon. It's 10 to 12. And we're getting a bit of a cold snap here in Phoenix. It is currently 46 degrees outside. It's cold. Going to have a high of 56 though, so things are going to look up as the day progresses on. It's going to get a little warmer. But yeah, but they said that we got I don't know what they call it, a winter front. I don't know. It's cold. So I got my woolies on. What's going on with me today? It is the 20th of February. My birthday's in 3 days. And I'm going to turn, not going to tell you. Everybody keeps saying, don't tell people how old you are, Lucille. You don't look your age, so stop telling people you're going to be 72. Oh, I forgot. 72. 72 going on 52. That's how I feel. Anyway, wanted to come on here and send some good thoughts and prayers to my dear friend in San Antonio, Texas, Kristen Benia. Hasta cielo y más. Kristen had some extensive surgery on her shoulder yesterday, as some of you who follow her and have a strong friendship with her know about. She had a rotary cuff and muscle tear and a bunch of things that were painful. And let's just hope that everything that they did yesterday to Kristen's shoulder improved her condition greatly. She's a wonderful, loving woman, and she's the mother of 3 beautiful children. And I'm looking forward to seeing her in person in San Antonio on June. I'm going to be going down to the conference around the 31st of May. I'm going to get there a day early. The conference, if you don't know, goes from June 1st to the 3rd. And it's a very wonderful foundation, the WLSFA, Weight Loss Surgery Foundation of America. And it's a good opportunity to meet all your YouTube friends in this weight loss community, many of which do attend the conference every year or whenever they can. I mean, the last time I went to a conference was in 2013 in Las Vegas, and that was the first and only conference I was able to attend. But I am going to attend this one with a great deal of pride and happiness, because this time I will be at my goal weight, and that's quite an achievement for me. I'm still, a good 10 pounds from that, 10, 12 pounds from that goal weight. I weighed in this morning at 185 normal, 186. And I'm usually between 183 and 184, so I'm up a few pounds. I think I am holding water and salt. I'm going to be drinking a lot more in the next day or two to see if I can release a lot more water, because I usually, when I feel it in my body, it's water. And I've been kind of stuck there for a while, 183, 184, 185, like that. The 186 is high for me. That's 3 pounds over my norm. But, you don't worry about things like that. It's, the body's weight will fluctuate every day. And it's just going to do what it's going to do. It's going to hold water. It's going to release water. I don't have to worry about my lady time every month anymore. That ended a long time ago. So I have no excuses about the lady time. But anyway, I'm still a long way from the 301 pounds that I was when I started this journey about 6-7 years ago. So I'm not complaining at all. But I do want to get, down to the 170, 175 range, as a maximum height. For my height at 5'6", I think that's good. Well, okay, what else do I have to talk about? It's cold as hell here today. Well, it's cold, not at hell. Hell's pretty warm than 46 degrees. But it's cold. The weather is clear. It is sunny as usual. And I am going to go out to the store today and get some vitamin A because my doctor's office called and said that they felt I needed to take a little extra supplement in that. With that particular vitamin, because it's coming up too low on my laboratory work. So I will do that. And what else? That's about it. Nothing really too much to report. Just want to say hi to all my friends, and I also want to say hello to all my new subscribers. I got quite a few new subscribers in the last month or so, and I'm so grateful to these new friends that come in and find my channel worth viewing, and that whatever I have to say on this channel is of some use to them. That's always nice to know. My last conversation was about poop and gas. Believe it or not, there were quite a few people who appreciated that. I don't know why, but they did. And about some of the medications or supplements that they're selling on the market today. The activated charcoal and the Deveron for internal deodorants, which is what the Deveron is, and the charcoal, which is supposed to absorb a lot of gas and keep it from forming in your system. Another thing that I have tried at the request of my dietitian in my surgeon's office was Beano. And I didn't bring it in the office with me to the kitchen. It's little, everybody knows what Beano is. That's an enzyme too that's supposed to attack the gas as it forms in your stomach and just kind of pulverizing it and not allowing it to form. I don't find that works either for me. I've tried the Beano before meals, after meals, and I still have gas. So I think anything that we put in our mouth that's going to digest in our intestines is going to turn into gas. It needs to. It's part of the digestive system. If we don't get gas, then we're not digesting our food. So, it's pretty much an understanding when you're a de-esser that you're going to have gas and you're going to have odd stools and loosey, mushy poops, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be for the rest of our life. We can't undo what we did here, at least I can't anyway. I'm not gonna. But once we make those intestinal changes, it's really with us for life, and we have to pretty much accept what comes with those surgeries. So anyway, if you take these supplements and they help you, I'm so happy that they do. Keep on taking them if they help, if they actually work for you. I don't care how much they cost. Excuse me, it's tissue time. I don't care how much they cost. If it works, it's worth the money. If it doesn't work, then that's another story. So, okay, got the Beano in. Made a pork loin roast yesterday in my New Wave air frying little portable oven thing, and it came out delicious. 15 minutes, it was all done. It was a small piece, about maybe this big. And I seasoned that and put it in a baggie, and then I do that with all the meats that I buy. I usually season them, put them in a freezer baggie, and put them in the freezer, and I take them out to defrost them and just let it marinate for a day in the defrosted marinade, which is usually garlic, onion powder, garlic powder, chopped garlic, and I do love Kikkoman marinating soy sauce. I do love that. It's a little high in salt, so I don't put too much in there, and I usually poke my meat and then splash some of that on it and just let it rub it in the bag and put it in the freezer. And then I have my pork chops marinated, I have my pork loins marinated, my steaks are marinated, my chicken is usually marinated, and I just take them out, one baggie at a time and defrost them and cook them up. And it's an easy way to prepare your food so that you always have something in that freezer that's ready to go. And I cook it up, and I usually have enough for 1 or 2 meals, and that's what I do there. Last night I had the pork loin with a small sweet potato loaded with butter and cream corn. I had a hankering for some cream corn. I used to love that when I was a young kid. So whenever I see cream corn, I go, and I get that hankering for it. I buy a can. It was the store brand. It wasn't like Libby's or Del Monte or anything like that. I don't know what was it, the signature brand. I think I got that at Fry's or Kroger's, if that's what you know. Fry's is oftentimes considered to be Kroger's, like in California and other places. And it was the cheaper brand, and it wasn't very tasty. But I put a little salt in it. It was okay. And I just had a little bit of that cream corn with my meal. And I made some cornbread the other day, and I was eating too much of it. I had a half a tray left. I threw it out this morning because I was eating too much of it. And I do that now, where in the old days I would not do that. If something was mediocre in flavor, I would finish it off anyway. Now I throw it out. If I'm not going to really enjoy it, why should I take in the calories and the carbohydrates? Just throw it out, you know. If I made something like cupcakes or cornbread or cookies, you know, whatever, and they were, you know, either too good and I was eating too many of them, I just keep eating them until they were gone because I don't want to be wasteful. I've always had this thing about not throwing away food. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe in another life I was a very poor little girl and was starving half the time, and maybe that's why I had this obesity problem in this life, because I was starving to death in another. I don't know. But I will always take a leftover and I will convert it into another meal somehow. And I still do that unless I make something and it's really no good for me, like a big tray of cornbread. And I ate half of it, and it was an 8-inch tray about this big. And I said, no, I'm eating too much of this. And I saw that the scale was going up a little bit, and I was holding on to some water. Threw it out this morning. So okay, I had it. I had a hankering for it, and I made it, and I've been eating on it for a couple of days now. That's enough. It's time for it to go in the trash, and because I really can't convert that into anything else. I mean, so I threw it out. And back in the old days, I wouldn't do that. I would just eat it anyway, and and get bigger and bigger and bigger because I'm eating calories and carbohydrates that I'm not enjoying and certainly not needing. And that's part of the correction that I've made over these years since I've had weight loss surgery is learning when you've had enough, when it's time to stop, and when to start throwing things out. And, I just do it. Just throw it out. These are little lessons that we learn along the way to try to maintain our success in these life-changing, and they are life-changing, new ways of behavior, eating behavior, life-changing eating behaviors. That's what we have to accept the fact that we can't have those eating behaviors and patterns that we had years ago because they harm us. As an obese person who has a disease called obesity, we are harmed when we eat in those ways. I still have cravings for things like this Valentine's Day, and I'll tell you what. Every day it's a struggle. Every day it's a battle. Every day, you go to the store and you see, oh, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. That bag of chocolate candy's on sale. And that's a biggie for me when I see something on sale. It's like I can't resist it. And oftentimes I do. I'll walk around and around and around the store, and no, I'm not going to buy it because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat too much of it. It's going to give me the trots. Spend half the day in the bathroom, and it's going to be calories and carbohydrates and a whole bunch of sugar that I do not need, and it's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt me in so many ways. There's consequences. You can't eat it. You can't buy it. I don't care if it's on sale. I don't care if it's free. Lucille, you can't get it. And this is going through my head, and I'm walking around the supermarket, and I might pass that sale bin 2 or 3 times, looking at it and contemplating it and talking myself out of it. And 9 times out of 10, it works. And I talk myself out of it, whether it's the bakery or the candy aisle or the ice cream aisle. There's going to be consequences. It's going to hurt me. You can have it. I mean, you can have it. If you want to go through, the pain and agony, you can have it. If you want to go through the discomforts and the inconvenience of what it's going to do to you, you can have it. But you have to choose not to want it. And I think that's the difference. Is more and more I'm choosing not to want it. And there's good reasons why I shouldn't buy it and consume it. And then there's times when I fail at that. I am human. And I think I fail at it more now, as crazy it might be, because I'm closer to goal. And, I'm thinner, and I look thinner, and I feel thinner, and I have on my skinny clothes. And I figure, well, it's Valentine's Day, and the candy's on sale, and I just want it, And so I'll eat what I want to eat, and then I'll throw out the rest. Because putting it in the freezer or in the cupboard and holding it for when I get company is another bullshit excuse. Never lasts. It never lasts. I mean, the mind is crazy. I saw a bag of Twix cookies. It's like a cookie, and it has a caramel coating on the top, and then it's covered in chocolate, and they're little miniature Twix. I used to like them when they first came out eons ago when I was a much younger person. I thought they were, better than Wonder Bread, great, Cat's Meow. These were good. Then they started tasting like stale to me, and I didn't buy them anymore for years. I mean, if I was going to buy a candy or a cookie, I wasn't buying Twix. Well, that day, I had a hankering for a Twix. I don't know what the hell happened. And it was on sale. It was a big, 14-ounce bag for like $3.29 or something. And it was Valentine's Day. So I bought it. I bought the Twix, and God damn it, they were good. They were freshly made. They didn't taste stale. And I ate on that damn bag of Twix for about 4 days. Just kept nibbling. And I said, okay. And running to the toilet and running to the toilet and running to the toilet. But those are the times when I lose my battle, when my struggle fails me, and you pay the price. You pay the price. And oddly enough, I didn't see any damage on the scale last week. I saw a little damage this week, unless it's a delayed reaction. I don't know, but that's one thing that the DS surgery does. From my observation of it, is that somehow, unlike when I had the sleeve, that type of eating or binging would have done a damage to me. I definitely would have seen a weight gain with that. For some reason, the DS doesn't really show a weight gain. If it does, it might be a pound or so, and a pound or two, and you lose it. As soon as you get back on track, you easily lose those regained pounds. It just kind of balances out the caloric value. I know we absorb a lot less, but when it comes to sugary things, we absorb 100%. DS or VSG or RNY, doesn't matter. You're going to get 100% of that sugar. But with the DS, for some reason, it doesn't affect me the way it did when I had just a VSG going on. So other than that, the surgery well, it wasn't a surgery, but the dilation procedure that my doctor did in the hospital the other day, in my endoscope, when he put the scope, seems to be working. I haven't had any of that discomfort in here anymore. What he found was by my ileum, which is, again, for those of you who don't know, when I went in to get my duodenal switch, and the doctor got in there with the scope, he saw that my pyloric valve was ischemic. It was just a dead piece of tissue, and he had to cut it out. And when he cut out the pyloric valve, he attached my ileum, which is my small intestine, directly up to my sleeve. Well, in that area where the ileum was connected to the sleeve is where that stricture was, that kink or pinch. And he had to put something in there to dilate it, open it up again. And I haven't had any more discomfort since he did that. So hopefully, knock on wood, it's a permanent fix. I did call the office yesterday and check with him again because I wanted to make sure I understood his instructions properly, and that's something everybody should do, especially when you've had a procedure. And even though you think you're clear, you're still coming off anesthesia and you might not get the instructions completely correct. And I didn't get an instruction sheet from the nurses. Usually sometimes they give you some directions on what to do when you get home. I didn't get anything. So I just had in my head what he verbally told me briefly when he came to see me after the procedure when I was recuperating in the recovery room. And he said something about take Prilosec for 3 months to keep that area, comfortable and to keep it from getting irritated and keep it relaxed, and come back in 3 months for a checkup, a follow-up. And that's about all hummingbirds. That's about all that he said. And I called the office to make sure, did he say Prilosec? I did ask him if I could take over the counter because it's a lot cheaper than a prescription. And he said, yeah, but I don't know if it's 20 milligrams or 40, just either one is fine. Do take the Prilosec 3 months, 20 to 40, either one is fine, and come back in 3 months. And she says, I'll make an appointment for you today while I have you on the phone, which she did. So, it's always wise if you're not quite sure and you don't get a written instruction sheet when you leave either a doctor's office or a hospital after a procedure of any kind, always call and double check to make sure you're following what he wants you to do to the letter, because it affects your health and your recovery. So that's what I've been up to. Like I said again, cold can be here today, 46 degrees outside, and lots of hugs and prayers to Kristen in San Antonio. Hope that she's recovering well from her surgery. I'm sure she will. And hello to all my new subscribers. So nice to meet you. It's a form of friendship with you. I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with all of your personal weight loss journeys. And everyone out there, WLSFA is well worth the time and money. If you can do it, please do. I look forward to seeing you at that wonderful convention in San Antonio, Texas, June 1 to June 3. Okay, everyone, that's all I have to say. I said way more than I intended to. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.